It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
As they say in PIHL hockey, let's do that PIHL hockey. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon, Pennsylvania on a chilly Thursday night in Western PA. It's PIHL Hockey Night live on TenbandTV. The push for the 2026 Penguins Cup playoffs continues, presented by Craft House Stage and Grill. And we welcome back former PA Cup champion coach Kevin Zolmanski. I am Matt Popchock. And here is our nightcap. We go to the top flight of Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League. Class 3A, the state champion Seneca Valley Raiders in black will be the #1 seed in this year's Penguins Cup playoffs. Their second consecutive #1 seed. They take on the team currently in 5th entering Thursday, the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, who sit on an even 30 points. They are playoff bound. They can lock up home ice advantage conceivably tonight with an upset win and help from Mount Lebanon right down the block. But really, for both these teams, Kevin, it's about conditioning themselves for playoff hockey.
Yeah, I just looked at Pine Ridge with 2-1 up on Lebo in the third. But, yeah, you're Seneca Valley. You won both cups last year. You're undefeated this year. You're fine-tuning. You're trying to do everything you can to keep the team engaged as they prep for the playoffs. You actually wouldn't mind as a coach, Matt, to come on the road and get really tested, really pushed. If you lose one, so be it. But I'm excited to get a look at the Raiders here tonight. Their last game was against Franklin Regional on the 2nd. They defeated the Panthers 6-1. TJ last played Mount Lebanon on the 5th. They won that one 6-2. As you mentioned, the top 4 in the standings: Seneca 47, Peters 44, Central 34, NA 31, followed by TJ at 30. A win today would even the games played with the Tigers and leap the Tigers if the Jaguars were able to win. Then you have Pine Richland. They've got 24, tied with South Fayette. 2 games in hand. The Rams, they're down the road at Mount Lebanon, as I said, leading 2-1, followed by Upper St. Clair, 21 points. Matt, these two teams faced off on the 8th of January up at Barrel Toyota Arena. It was 6-1 victory for the Raiders. They jumped out to a 4-0 lead midway through the second. Jacob Gilbert, Luke Myers, John Soroika, and Owen Martin cashed in. Michael Burns put one in to make it 4-1. Carter Hayne and Brady Watson finished the scoring. In goal, Chris Nichols faced only 13, made 12 saves, 92.3% save percentage. And you look at that goals against, if you look at the standings, Matt, that's super impressive. 86-4, 17 goals against on the season. That's a crazy low number. So good on the Raiders for being engaged enough defensively to keep it that low.
And I think they will get tested on the road here tonight, Kevin, because both these teams are playing some pretty solid defensive hockey. Seneca Valley, you mentioned the win at Franklin Regional. The Raiders had won 23 straight dating back to last year against PIHL teams in all competitions before NA finally beat them in that shootout to stop their winning streak. The Raiders, like the Mars Planets, have not lost in regulation at all this year, as you pointed out just a moment ago. The Raiders have the #1 team defense in the entire PIHL, regardless of classification, with those 17 goals allowed as a team. The Jaguars, coached by John Zeiler for the 5th consecutive season, have won 4 in a row. They've only allowed 4 goals in those 4 games. They've held 6 of their last 7 opponents to 2 goals or fewer. So they're getting enough offense to win. They're getting superb team defense and great goaltending from Ben Balducci as he tries to step out of the shadow of the stellar 6 honoree Chris Nichols tonight.
And in goal, Balducci, he has played 17 games, 10-6-1 record, faced 357 shots. He's allowed 46 goals, 311 saves. Pretty impressive number. 2.76 goals against average, 87.1 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And as you mentioned, Chris Nichols, 16 games played, 12-0-1 record, shootout loss. Shot on goal, 227. That's a low total, so that tells you how well they're playing in front of them. 215 saves, 12 goals against, 91 goals against average. A microscopic sub-1, 0.91. That's insane. And save percentage, 94.7. 6 shutouts. Man, that's an impressive follow-up season for the Raiders following their Penguin Cup and PA Cup victories last season.
Nichols was integral to that success. He got an all-star nod for the 2nd consecutive year this year for his work between the pipes. He's the December Player of the Month in PIHL Class 3A, first in all the categories you mentioned. And Balducci for Thomas Jefferson is coming off, the last time we saw him on TenbandTV anyway, coming off a big senior night win over Peters Township in the shootout that punched the Jaguars' ticket officially to the 2026 postseason. And in just a moment, it'll be the Jaguars and the Seneca Valley Raiders, both teams winding down their regular seasons, both teams looking long run, looking long range at playoff hockey, and we're just about ready to go. March and Scrates, the USA Hockey crew pulling double duty here in Castle Shannon. Raiders control it and move it left to right on your TV, computer, or mobile device to begin. Loose puck in front of the TJ goal, collected by alternate captain and all-star Jake Simon. One of the top 10 playmakers statistically in Class 3A with his 12 assists. Raiders bring it across the line. Jake Gilbert, who recently entered the top 10 in scoring, puts that on Balducci. Penalty coming up. Balducci was knocked down by the man going to the net. That was Reif, I believe. And we're going to get an interference call just 37 seconds in.
Well, it was a really impressive rush up the middle of the ice. And then a nice little backhand sauce pass by number 38, Jacob Gilbert, to the streaking Reif, who I could tell, man, I could really anticipate with his speed. It was like, he's going to crash this net. We're going to have a situation. But I think he got there, and then he kind of extended the arm, and I think that's why the official called it. That arm extension knocked over the goaltender, Balducci.
Reif in the box. TJ on the penny power play. Something's got to give. The number one power play against the number one penalty kill entering Thursday in Class 3A. Owen Michael from the left circle. That's toward goal. Nichols fights it off through a crowd.
Jaguars 17 of 38, 44.7%.
Simon from distance. Loud save made by Nichols. And the Raiders get the clear.
Raiders 46 of 50. That was easy math. That's 92%.
Gawarek sends this puck deep. Tyler Masiska from the Seneca Valley class of 2010. Changing up his penalty killers. A year ago, he got a Penguins Cup championship ring and a Pennsylvania Cup championship ring, becoming the first Seneca Valley hockey coach to accomplish the latter. Merrill touches this puck, a high stick on the puck called against TJ. Midway through this Seneca Valley penalty kill.
Yeah, I guess there's a chance to tell you Penguin Cups, 2 for the Raiders, 18 and 25. As you mentioned, the 1 state championship last year. TJ, 5 Penguin Cups. We'll rattle off when we have time.
And their current head coach, John Zeiler from the class of 2000, was a member of 3 in a row at the turn of the century.
All in 2A, 98, 99, 2000, and then as a coach in 22 and 24.
A star player on all 3 championship-winning teams, Penguins Cup and Pennsylvania Cup at the time.
And a draft pick of the Los Angeles Kings in the 5th round.
The team with whom he scored his first and only NHL goal before playing a little bit in Europe, before calling it a career playing-wise. Molnar from his own corner. Last rush for this TJ power play early in a scoreless game. That's deflected wide by team captain Carter Hain for Seneca Valley. The elder Hain had a goal in the last meeting between these clubs. As Balducci sends it to center, both teams back to full strength. Evan Hawk to the corner. Michael Banks with his back to the play. Connects with Molnar behind his own net. Vinny Casamassa up to Molnar at center. Carter Hain retreating to his own bench to collect that puck for the Raiders. Vinny Valella, stick check by Artman. Artman up to Casamassa. Casamassa surrounded by black jerseys, lost that puck. Kept inside the zone by Gary Pritchard. Pritchard, one of 11 seniors on the 25-26 varsity Jaguars. These teams with 24 seniors combined on their respective rosters. 2 teams well-peopled and well-coached, and headed back to the Penguins Cup playoffs with room to spare.
Matt, you can notice a stark difference in tempo of this game from the previous one we did between Cathedral Prep and Baldwin.
Certainly. Artman around the boards. Pritchard off a teammate stick, that of Fetzko. Jaguars have to regroup and re-enter. Raiders changing behind the play as Artman fires off the glass, and that goes out of action.
Well, the early opportunity on the penalty power play, the penalty taken by the Raiders, a couple good chances, but Hartman, you called it a wild save, man. He flashed out that left pad. He's very quick in between the pipes.
Banks behind the net. Nichols out to play it. Raiders under duress, try to get it to center, but it's picked off by Burns. Michael Burns sending it around the Seneca Valley goal. Tyler Maxwell hit as he tried to get rid of that puck in the corner. Ethan Reif, fresh out of the penalty box, knocks down Banks along the near boards. Raiders cross the TJ line. Leighton Moreau taken off that puck by Banks, among others. Burns turning it over to Reif. Reif drops it to Maxwell. Maxwell with a pretty fake there. Maxwell toward goal, deflected on Balducci. He stays with it, makes the save, freezes the follow-up for the faceoff. Balducci tied for 3rd in AAA goalie wins, not that far behind the dozen earned by Chris Nichols to this point. And Makes a nice stop there to keep the game scoreless 5 minutes in. Balducci, top 5 in goals against average.
That was a good save there.
Sure was, and the third most minutes played of any 3A netminder. He's done it all for John Zeiler's team this season. First-year starter. Merrill knocking down one of the Raiders. That was Aiden Garvin getting the worst of that one. And a chance for Seneca Valley. Balducci making himself big to make that save as we have a yard sale in TJ territory. Brady Watson, the freshman, fired that puck from the circle. Garvin and Martin keep it in the zone for the Raiders. Watson for Owen Martin. Martin trying to create separation. Martin trying to go cross ice this time for Matt Bailey. Bailey retreating as Gwarek lets it go to one of the Jaguars. Artman, the sophomore blue liner, up to center. Molnar across the line for TJ.
A little awkward, but Garvin got just enough of them to separate him from the puck.
Carson Lindbergh with speed to center. And the former Penn's Elite product is dispossessed. Lindbergh one more time, stripped of the puck by Fetzko. Gwarek from the corner. Raiders play it off the glass at center red. Evan Hawk with a toe drag on goal. I'll take that, thank you very much, says Balducci with just over 10 to go in the first. No score.
Very distinctive single-digit number for Balducci that you don't really see on goaltenders. He of the blue tape that kind of matches the Raiders jerseys.
Quite a few goaltenders wear the number 1.
Right.
Garrett Russin, to which the backup to Balducci. Where's that number? Not too many number 6s, though.
Yeah, I should have qualified it. You see one often, but that's the only one.
Loose in front of the aforementioned Balducci, and he'll cover atop the crease.
The aforementioned Motley Crue making an appearance. You had to be tuned into the first game.
If you know, you know. Cam Lorenzi, the senior captain, out to take this face-off for the Jaguars in their own zone. The Raiders played around the boards behind goaltender Balducci. Lorenzi trying to reverse the play, but gave it right to one of the Raiders. Lorenzi to center. Picked off by Carter Hain. Hain double-teamed immediately by Michael and Burns. Reif shoved from behind by Banks as the Jaguars reset the play. Raiders complete the line change. Burns one touching it to Lorenzi. Lorenzi stick check from behind by Luke Myers. Michael works it loose. And in the corner is Burns. Hain going to work defensively for Seneca Valley, and the Raiders work it up to center for Reif. Reif hits the brakes. Now he hits Gilbert with a pass. Gilbert's shot goes wide. The rebound is loose next to Balducci. Sent to the boards, but not out. Maxwell to the corner. Now back to Tyler Maxwell. Reif off one of his own men. I think it was Gilbert who caught the friendly fire, trying to come off for a line change. Lorenzi under extreme duress up the near side for Burns. Burns knocked down by John Soroka. Soroka to Myers. Myers with a fake. Score! My Soroka feeds Luke Myers for the first Seneca Valley goal. Midway through this first period, it's 1-0 Raiders.
Well, it was a good play high in the zone, Matt. The third forechecker, the F3, making the play inside the blue and then threading the needle to a pass where the 2D, think of like a soccer back line coming forward to catch someone off sides. They just moved too high, and he looked up, and he was all alone on Balducci, and he was able to go to the backhand and finish.
Fourth of the year for Myers, the senior forward. 1-0 Seneca Valley as Balducci, who was faked completely out of his pads on that sequence, this time makes the save for the defensive zone faceoff.
So wish I had the ability to get the replays up and tell us straight, but it was an F3 play not made by TJ that allowed Seneca to get out and go down here.
And the Raiders nearly double their lead, but Balducci, a gorgeous desperation save there to keep it a 1-goal game.
Finished the thought transition, got him into the offensive zone. They had sustained pressure. They made the play up high, got the resulting goal. When you're in the F3 position, Matt, you can't allow the cross-ice pass. TJ was in great position. Stick was not in right position to cut it off, and Seneca was able to transition.
Myers fires one more time, this time out of action. And so we'll drop it to the left of Balducci this time.
And now they've kept the pressure on. Subtle little things when you get into the playoffs. It's just those plays that are not made or mistakes that are made that make a difference.
Goal number 87 for the Seneca Valley Raiders as a team this year. The most in Class 3A, and again, it belongs to Luke Myers. And the Raiders were that close to doubling their advantage, but now have to reset from within their own blue line. Soroka running into Salopek. Salopek gets the puck deep for Thomas Jefferson. Soroka up to center for Owen Martin. Martin pressured by Delco Joyce, the sophomore, to get rid of that puck. Joyce, a varsity debutante last Halloween against Seneca Valley at home to boot.
Myers is fourth of the campaign for the Raiders.
Warwick near side for Lindbergh. Lindbergh trying to outskate Fetzko. Fetzko interrupted the play enough to get it outside the line. Watson dumped by Artman. Hard hit there. Shoulder to shoulder. Now Joyce getting involved with Warwick at center. Joyce's stick grabbed by Gawarek, and Joyce really wanted a penalty there, and not so sure he didn't have a case.
Holding the stick.
Lorenzi from the circle. He fires. That's blocked. Aiden Garvin getting in the way. Fetzko, the Pittsburgh Predators product. Near side for Artman. Raiders go to work in their own corner. And it's Murphy dumped to center. Artman going D to D. Artman and Pritchard, the defensive pairing for John Zeiler, with 6 minutes left in the first. Seneca Valley up 1-0. Bailey retreating for the champs. Around the boards. Garvin out hustled there by Lorenzi, but Seneca Valley is able to bring it up the far boards before the Jaguars send it back around the horn. Michael plays it around Bailey. Michael to the corner. Trying to shake free of Garvin. Lorenzi trying to pick up the loose change. Gets it to the point for Jack Gula. Gula's shot deflecting wide.
The rebound went right past Burns, who was in the right place. It's just a carom that was too quick.
Just the third varsity appearance this year for Gula, as Balducci makes not one but two saves right on his doorstep against Evan Hawk. Still looking for his first varsity goal.
Thought for a moment there he was able to slam that home, but Balducci denies him on the rebound for another big save.
Soroka, who set up the Raiders' lone goal thus far, wins this faceoff, and it comes back to Villela. Across for Carter Hain. It goes wide. Rife against the grain, forcing the save from Balducci, and Balducci in turn forces the net off its moorings.
So it was kind of a last play entering the zone. It's a little old now, but I really like the way the Raiders 2D played it. The left D kind of stepped up, maybe a little bit too much, but once he got beat, the right D came over on a good switch to defend it well.
Carter Merrill unable to clear the zone. Raiders have it deep again, and they score! John Soroka goes upstairs to make it 2-0 Raiders. Shake well before using. John Soroka with his 9th of the season.
Pressure continues, face-off win, and you get it in front of Balducci, who's been good, and Soroka now is 1-1 on the game. And the Raiders lead 2-0, just under 5 minutes to go here in the first.
Scored a few big goals during that Penguins Cup run last year. 3 assists in the PA Cup win over Holy Ghost Prep.
And the bench of TJ.
More importantly, for our purposes, a 9-game point streak extended on the first goal. And now Soroka with a goal of his own, number 9. As I said, 20-point campaign for the senior and alternate captain. And Martin brings it across the attacking line one more time for the away side. Thomas Jefferson just 4 goals allowed in their last 4 games. Ben Balducci and company already nicked for 2 in this first period. And this is what the Raiders do. They make a lot of good teams that play very good hockey look silly. And that's what they do when they're at their best. And we talked about it in pregame, trying to just fine-tune and round into postseason form as they try to defend 2 championships. Maxwell from distance. Balducci.
Nobody around. They're going to make him play it.
Not keep the play moving.
Well, again, I would need the replay, but it was a nice play by Hayne coming out of the zone, Matt. The captain, wearing 29, Carter Haynes, saw that a forechecker was in that other corner, taking out that outlet option, and he quickly cut it in the near post right in front of the goaltender and skated it out on the breakout. That's just good read, heads-up hockey, simple play. So it was Soroka at 12-13 from Ethan Reif. Before that, at 8:48 was Myers from Soroka.
Reif, a very gritty player and getting involved early, taking the penalty, but then redeeming himself. And the Raiders work it back to center. Moreau collects it in front of his own bench for Gilbert. Moreau now being chased by Michael Burns. Simon with a dump in. Maxwell will go after it for Seneca Valley. Oh. Michael almost picked off that outlet pass. It is turned over after all to the Jaguars. Lorenzi forcing the glove save by Nichols.
Excellent forechecking pressure by the Jaguars right there. Burns was turn for turn with that right defenseman for the Raiders. Forced them to give it up. They dumped it back in, tagged. As you mentioned, they almost picked it off. Michael did with the stick there, but they're able to get the shot. Now the face-off.
Carter Artman to the corner. Casamassa trying to work it around the perimeter for TJ. Garvin and the Raiders take over. Collision there between Artman and the defender for Seneca Valley. That was Watson on the back check. Now Watson and Molnar greet each other at center as the Raiders once again try to start out of their own zone. Merrill from behind his own net. Bailey wide of the Thomas Jefferson goal. Simon has the rebound for TJ as we approach the final 2 minutes of first period play. Garvin trying to shrug off Casamassa. Casamassa from an angle forces that save by Nichols.
Well, you're starting to get a feel, I am, seeing the Raiders for the first time, why they're good. Just solid plays, good skating, good puck movement. good reading of the plays, making the right play.
Fetzko puts it off the arm of Nichols. Seneca Valley controls the rebound.
And if they make a mistake, they have Nichols.
Absolutely. Arguably the premier goaltender in PIHL hockey this season. Seneca Valley recovering at center. Evan Hawk. Fetzko across the line for TJ. Salopek and Carter Hain collide.
Penalty.
Indeed, against the Raiders. Carter's younger brother Cooper coming off a hat trick against Franklin Regional, not in the Raider lineup tonight, but Seneca Valley has to go back to work on the penalty kill, as it is Carter Hain who will feel shame for 2 minutes and then get free, tripping the indication.
On the season, Jaguars, we already mentioned 44.7%.
And the last time we saw TJ, they were really stymied on the power play by Peters Township for much of the game, but got a late power play goal to tie the game, forced the OT, then eventually pulled it out in the shootout. It's not always how many you get, it's when you get them that counts, and the Jaguars could use a shot in the arm here with a minute to go in the period. Michael around the boards. Maxwell reversing the play for Seneca Valley. And the Raiders get the clear. Simon to center for Burns. Burns leading it on for Lorenzi. Lorenzi from the right circle will pivot. Raiders unable to get it out of the area. Burns outside the zone for Simon. That's a break for Seneca Valley with 36 ticks to talk.
Well, before they had to go out and regroup, they got into their umbrella setup, and the Raiders fronted all three of the shooters with a player. And so, Matt, that leaves the 2-on-1 down low. But you got to pop out to the corners. They're unused. It was a good pressure by the Raiders. And it didn't, the Jaguars did not adjust like they needed to.
Midway through the Penny power play, which will carry into period 2, barring late developments here. That pass too strong for Lorenzi. Raiders blindly send it around the boards, and it works. Simon has to go fetch at center. Under 10 seconds left. And that's how the first period will end, with Jake Simon retrieving the puck. And it ends with the Seneca Valley Raiders leading the Jaguars 2-0 on goals by Luke Myers and John Soroka. With Kevin Zolmansky, I'm Matt Popchock, and it's PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by Craft House Stage.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Craft House Stage and Grill, there we go, is a live music venue on Curry Road in the South Hills, offering local and nationally touring acts all week long, as well as over 50 beers on tap and a scratch-made kitchen with delicious eats. If you're a night owl, check out the late night happy hour Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 1, all month long for half off 20 delicious menu items and no cover charge. Visit crafthousepgh.com for a full menu and complete calendar of live events. I'm Matt Popchock with Kevin Zolmanski. The side switch has occurred. Period 2 is underway between the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars in white and the Seneca Valley Raiders in black. It's the champs that are ahead by a pair, with the Jaguars in the final moments of their second penny power play as that puck goes out of play.
You know, man, it's the time of the year I pop in like the groundhog and tell you it's going to be 4 more weeks of playoff hockey. So just kind of make an appearance that you're
better
close.
than 6 weeks of winter. We'll take playoff hockey as much as we'll take an early spring. And the playoffs will be here before you know it, starting in Class A with their first round games in just another week or so on TenbandTV. Both these teams have qualified for the Class 3A quarterfinals. Seneca Valley will be the number 1 seed once again. Thomas Jefferson is trying to nail down home ice for that playoff opener. Cam Lorenzi, with both teams back to equal strength, knocked off that puck. And the Raiders, coming off a pretty textbook first period, play this puck up ahead to the game's first goal scorer, Luke Myers, who gets victimized this time by what I thought was a Marc-Andre Fleury-style poke check, but this USA hockey crew begs to differ.
You know, I thought TJ had something brewing. The Lorenzi was a good position above the puck, pick off that pass, and then all of a sudden, it's a really good stretch pass to the red line for the Raiders, and they're on the attack. Didn't get the shot, but they draw the penalty. So 15:40 to go here in the second, and a 2-goal lead. They're going to go up on a man advantage, are the Raiders, and they are only 20% on the season, 8 of 40. TJ's 42 of 48, 87.5 on the kill.
The Raiders went through a long stretch of a couple of months without scoring a power play goal before they finally got one, and got 2, in fact, in a road win earlier in the second half of the season against Mount Lebanon. Seneca Valley, 3 of their last 10 on the penny power play after going 0 for their previous 9, as I mentioned. And they're such a dominant team 5-on-5, Kevin, it hasn't really mattered to this point.
Right, but it is something to just highlight, because it could become critical in a close game in the playoffs.
Gilbert off balance. That puck still available in front. The Raiders try to settle it down. Oh, what a play by Banks! Giving up the body and trying to do his best Ben Balducci impersonation to keep it a 2-goal game. That one-timer fought off by Balducci, who is down but not out. He is without a goalie stick, however, which is quickly recovered by Lorenzi. Chaos in the TJ zone as Gawarek fires off the body of Balducci. A frenetic start to this first penny power play of the night for Seneca Valley. Rife toward goal. That one-timer is stopped by Balducci. Soroka left to wonder if only.
Yeah, sometimes it's that far point man that's wide open, and Soroka really reads it well, but Balducci with an excellent push and telescope. Great goaltending right there to make the save. A couple snaps to Banks for going down and stacking the shin guards to make a save, and then assisting with retrieving the goalie stick.
Again, this is his first year as the full-time starter for TJ. Looks like he's been starting for 10 years, the way he's played in the second half of the season. Watson from the left circle. That deflected off a TJ stick and or skate before going to the corner. Final moments of the man advantage. Maxwell surveying the scene. Across from Martin. Martin looking for a lane. Has one. Fires off Balducci. That stunned him a bit, but he appears to be okay as the penalty to Carter Artman has expired.
Yeah, he kind of turned, exposing the side of the neck there. Still was able to make the save and not take it in the neck. Oh, big hit by Artman right there.
The number 2 penalty kill in Class 3A does its duty. TJ still down by a pair. Merrill, 1 against 2. Gonna live to fight another day. Jaguars go for a quick line change. Gilbert was open for a moment for the stretch pass, but instead Casamassa forces Nichols to make a left-handed glove save.
Nichols down early on that one. Caught it kind of with a downward swipe. I think he was just a little bored down there for a while, Matt.
First period shots did favor Seneca Valley by a 12-6 margin. And they had the only two in the first that mattered, the goal by Myers and the goal by Soroka. Lead pass now, and Balducci making that save on the shot by Hawk, who just can't buy that first career goal, it seems.
So, Matt, the gentleman beside me with the camera showed me he got a great image of the puck hitting Balducci right in the chin. You could see the mask in motion and the puck on its side. It's a good action shot.
Now, those neck protectors can make a world of difference. Never know when you're going to need them.
I mean, think about it, Matt. It's such a natural reaction to flinch when something's coming up at your head, right? I mean, it's hard to.
I sure would.
I don't know how they do it, to stand there in front of some of those shots. There's been some players in the past, Matt, that could really fire it. I mean, really fire it. And the goalies to stand their ground. It takes some courage.
Jaguars win the defensive zone draw. Lorenzi and Pritchard get it around the boards, but the Raiders take it over with help from Evan Hawk. Reif off the glass. Gilbert to the corner for Hawk. Gilbert in the thick of the puck battle. Off to our extreme left. And that battle was won by Cam Lorenzi. The Thomas Jefferson captain out for Owen Michael. Up to center now for Michael Burns. Burns toward goal. That save is made by Chris Nichols.
It's good use of the screen.
Artman near side. Around the boards for Bailey. Artman from the point. Right to the stick of Garvin. Garvin leading it for Hawk. Soroka able to stay on side. Reif with a drop pass to John Soroka. Down low to Reif. Reif chipped it past the equipment of Ben Balducci. That shot is fought off by the TJ senior. Michael exhausting the area. Mason Sheets, the freshman, out here now for Tyler Masiska. Harassed by Simon as he sends this puck down low. Martin hits the brakes near side. Lost the puck to Jake Simon. Kept inside by Valella. Balducci cutting down the angle and hanging on for the face-off as things get a bit heated after the whistle and second whistle.
Sending them both. Well, when you send them both, you are controlling the game. If someone from the stands yells out, control the game, that's what they're doing when they send them both.
I got to agree. I mean, send the message. Just send them both. Get it. Make your point early.
It's the same crew that did the first game that we saw how it did not end in the best way, so they have that fresh in their minds.
Certainly.
Balducci with a good push out there on top of the crease to make that save again on that kind of acute angle shot.
So the teams will remain at 5 aside with just over 10 minutes till the ice cut. Both coaches emptying their benches a bit. Not necessarily seeing some of the usual suspects offensively for both teams, but the Raiders' higher profile players certainly making a mark so far. We saw Ben Galicia, the junior, out there a moment ago for TJ, taking his first shift of the hockey game. Delco Joyce taking that lead pass right side to Galicia. Galicia, that deflected off the glass. Carter Hain got in his way as he shot that. Fetzko tied up in the corner by Villela. And that shot by Fetzko goes out of play after Gilbert ran afoul of one of the Jaguars.
So if you're on the ice against Soroka, you got to pay attention if you're the D, because he reads the play with his defenseman really well, Matt. He knows when to leak out and get behind those D, looking for that head pass, that stretch pass to get a breakaway. I've picked up on it a few times. He seems to be really good at knowing when to go.
The coincidental penalties, by the way, Artman and Gwarek both for cross-checking. Raiders play it to the right point. Maxwell unable to hit Watson with that pass. Merrill across the line, dropping for Molnar. Molnar to Merrill. Carter Merrill trying to wrap it around in front. Nichols had that post well protected. Maxwell with some lumber into the back of Merrill, who was trying to protect that puck for the Jaguars. Merrill breaks free, gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard off a stick out in front. Oh, what a stop there by Nichols! And he stops the rebound on Casamassa. Nichols remains money for the Raiders, keeping this game 2-0 in the visitors' favor.
Casamassa setting up camp in front of Nichols, forcing Nichols to make a great save with the left flipper on that turnaround.
Clean face-off win by TJ. Pritchard to the corner.
Nichols didn't even have his glove on. They dropped the puck.
A strange moment there, but fortunately for his sake, able to readjust and recover before he had to be called into action.
As a center, you got to check back there and make sure your goalie's ready.
Lorenzi, pressured from behind, now pulls behind the net for TJ. They're trying to jam it in on Nichols at that far post. Again, Nichols has it well covered. And taking matters into his own hands is Mason Sheets, who is stick checked by Simon midway through this second period. Burns trying to get around Bailey that time. Easier said than done. Simon unloading, and that misses the net. Pritchard lost that puck to Hawk. Space now for Martin up the left wing. Martin with a man going toward goal. That's Sheets, who tried to bury the one-timer but could not. Wraparound try. Oh, what a save there by Balducci.
Well, a lot of good plays right there, man. It was a 2-on-1. The D went down with the slide, maybe just a couple inches early. Forced a really late pass across, but an excellent back check to that back post prevented that. And then the step out on the forehand for the tuck was also a good play. Then a better save by Balducci. So all around, some pretty good hockey. Face off to the left of Balducci.
Carter Hayne on his proverbial horse, collecting that puck for the Raiders. And the Seneca Valley captain sends it up to center for Gilbert, who's dispossessed by Joyce. Fetzko in transition for TJ, centering for Salopek. Carter Hayne messed with his mojo. Gilbert on the counterattack for the Raiders. Gilbert firing, stick save Balducci. The rebound is sent wide.
Like the way he fired for the far side to generate the rebound if he didn't beat him.
This puck still in play behind the Jaguars net. The Raiders have it. Out it comes, intended for Hayne, and he will keep it inside the line. Hayne to the corner. Balducci makes that save. Myers for Hayne. Hayne shooting just wide. That had some velocity, to say the least. Fetzko, not quite far enough for icing. Jaguars make a quick line change. Lindbergh down the left wing, dropping for Myers. Myers on goal, Balducci the save. Artman controlling the rebound. Intercepted by Soroka. Soroka settling that one down with a hand. Rife around the boards for Moreau. Soroka, it's in! It went off the inside of the post, it went in! Thank you, sir, may I have another? John Soroka's 10th of the season. And the Raiders make it a 3-0 game with 6 minutes till the ice cut.
Well, man, it was a blink and you missed it type of play because there was a shot that was blocked and the puck just fell right there in the slot on the stick of Soroka. And he seemed to be the first to recognize it before Balducci and Soroka put it into the net off the post, as you called it. His third point, he's got a brace now, 2 goals on the game, and the Raiders lead 3-0.
John Soroka showing up in another game late in the season for the Seneca Valley Raiders in a big way. Stop us if you've heard that one before. One of the Raiders going down in the corner, but bouncing right back up is Tyler Maxwell. Soroka to the corner. Maxwell hit up high by Michael. And Seneca Valley gets it up to center. Soroka crisscrossing with Leighton Moreau. Watson pursuing this puck. He defers to Soroka. Soroka threw it behind Bailey, who keeps it onside. Bailey to the corner for Rife.
It's a nice spin by Bailey to keep it in.
It was, and Lorenzi's finally able to bring it to center for TJ. Turnover to Burns, up for Lorenzi. Final 5 minutes of second period play. Artman on the off wing. The shot pass is through the legs of Simon. One of the better chances on the surface, at least, that TJ has had in this game. Galicia firing wide. Salopek sandwiched along the boards. Lindbergh in there battling with Tucker Porter, who's on for the first time tonight for John Zeiler. Both these coaches clearly letting players compete for jobs in the future just as much as they're trying to gear up for the postseason. Artman plays as Hawk. Goes to Bailey. Bailey, stretch pass to Lindbergh. Good stick by Artman. Seneca Valley completing the change. Gilbert keeps it onside. Gilbert below the left circle. Good save by Balducci. Good shot, for that matter, by Gilbert. Carter Hayne splitting the D. Hayne out in front. The one-timer is shanked by Sheets. Villela pinching. Gets it up to Martin. Carter Hayne out in front. Gilbert unable to shovel it in. Last few minutes of the second period, and the Seneca Valley Raiders are up by a few, Kevin, and at very few points tonight has it felt like the Raiders were not in control of this hockey game, despite TJ out there battling.
Skating well, moving the puck well, dictating the tempo, dictating the play, and then when all else fails, Nichols just makes the saves. I mean, it's really a formidable recipe, as TJ has too many on the ice here, going to make a change.
They were Penguins Cup and Pennsylvania Cup champs for a reason. They'll enter the playoffs as the favorites, I'm sure, for good reason. Hayne for Myers. Lorenzo cutting it out at center. Delayed offside situation is negated. Braden Hinkle, who made his varsity debut for TJ in that big senior night win, on here late for the Jaguars in a 3-0 game. Casamassa, circle, but not the best shooting angle. And so this puck will be brought back around to Maxwell. Moreau from the left point. Shot pass, worked around to Martin. Martin fires! Balducci
Terrific passing sequence, a better save.
That mask is going to see more action than the net. Another one right off the noggin. Ben Balducci continues to compete and try and will his team back into this game any way he can. But the Jaguars at the moment have their hands full with a Seneca forecheck as finally we get a whistle with $1:20 to go.
Well, man, you can look at him. Balducci's a tall goalie, and he's quick to drop down. And he likes to load the post on those side plays. And so they're shooting at his head. And he's getting a lot off the melon and the mask tonight.
Raiders unable to shoot that puck cleanly. Good stick there by Joyce. Nichols making that save at the other end. Martin unable to start the breakout. Maxwell will try.
Ooh.
A hit from behind there on Watson just as he got that puck. Some fans want a penalty, but we'll play on with under a minute to go. Very close play there in the neutral zone as the Raiders are across the line once more. Moreau forgot the puck this time. Up it comes to Fetzko. Fetzko looking for company, none to be found. Pressured now by Lindbergh. Joyce trying to provide some late puck support for TJ. Under 20 remaining. Fetzko dispossessed by Moreau. Lindbergh to the goal. Lindbergh off Balducci, who made himself big. 5 seconds left. The Jaguars will just dump this puck. And the Raiders will go into the ice cut intermission with a 3-0 lead. Seneca Valley on top of Thomas Jefferson through 2 with Kevin Zolmanski, Matt Popchock here. PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV. It's the push for the 2026 Penguins Cup playoffs presented by Craft House Stage and Grill.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Reif drops it to Maxwell. Maxwell with a pretty fake there. Maxwell toward goal, deflected on Balducci. He stays with it, makes the save, freezes the follow-up for the netminder. He's done it all for John Zeiler's team this season. First-year starter. Merrill knocking down one of the Raiders. That was 8. Raiders play it off the glass at center red. Evan Hawk with a toe drag on goal. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Side for Burns. Burns knocked down by John Soroka. Soroka to Myers. Myers with a fake. Score! My Soroka feeds Luke Myers for the first Seneca Valley goal.
By TJ that allowed Seneca to get out and go down here.
And the Raiders nearly double their lead, but Balducci, a gorgeous desperation save there to keep. Carter Merrill unable to clear the zone. Raiders have it deep again, and they score! John Soroka goes upstairs to make it 2-0 Raiders. Shake well before using. And the Raiders, coming off a pretty textbook first period, play this puck up ahead to the game's first goal scorer, Luke Myers, who gets victimized this time.
Because it could become critical in a close game in the playoffs.
Gilbert off balance. That puck still available in front. The Raiders try to settle it down. Oh, what a play by Banks! A frenetic start to this first penny power play of the night for Seneca Valley. Rife toward goal. That one-timer is stopped by Balducci. Protect that puck for the Jaguars. Merrill breaks free, gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard off a stick out in front. Oh, what a stop there by Nichols! And he stops the rebound on Lindbergh down the left wing, dropping for Myers. Myers on goal, Balducci the save. Around the boards for Moreau. Soroka, it's in! It went off the inside of the post, it went in! Thank you, sir, may I have another? John Soroka's 10th of the season. Puck will be brought back around to Maxwell. Moreau from the left point. Shot pass, worked around to Martin. Martin fires, Balducci!
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
For over 20 years, groups, families, and individuals have been saving money with the Avia Dental Plan.
For as little as $9.25 a month, members can save up to 50% or more on dental care.
Plus, everyone qualifies, and there is no waiting or limits on visits to the dentist.
Start saving today with the Avia Dental Plan.
Go to getlowcostdental.com or call 1-888-431-2273. Smile. You're with people who care.
Gonna get out, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Cross ice, and it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie, welcome to the show. The Penguins Cup Championship show. The Penguins Cup Playoff show. And the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show.
Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair. Pass Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero! Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Hewitt creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Craft House Stage and Grill is a live music venue on Curry Road in the South Hills, offering local and nationally touring acts all week long, as well as over 50 beers on tap and a scratch-made kitchen with delicious eats. If you're a night owl like I used to be before I got old and had a kid, check out the late night happy hour Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 1, all month long for half off 20 delicious menu items and no cover charge. Visit CraftHousePGH.com for a full menu and complete calendar of live events. With Kevin Zolmansky, I am Matt Popchock, looking at the freshly cut ice here at the Ice Castle as we wind down Week 19 of PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV. The push for the 2026 Penguins Cup playoffs is presented by Craft House Stage and Grill, and the Jaguars need a big push, Kevin, in this third period, and they've got quite a metaphorical boulder to push up what feels like Mount McKinley, I'm sure, at this point.
Tough challenge here in the third. Get 3 to push it to overtime. Going to need to make the smart play and make it quickly to get up the ice. Nichols is going to be difficult to beat. That's why you got to get numbers. You got to get bodies in front of them. You got to get rebounds. And you got to increase the volumes of shots. It doesn't seem to be really any prophetic thing that I could say that's going to really turn it for the Jaguars. It's just Seneca's a very solid team, and they're performing well right now. So see what the Jaguars got here in the third.
I was just about to say, it has been a very pro forma hockey game for the Seneca Valley Raiders, even without some of the superstars being present or contributing in large numbers, as the Jaguars move it to center to begin period 3. Myers, who got the scoring started for the Raiders, plays this puck behind the TJ goal. Simon off the near boards. Garvin keeps it in temporarily for Seneca Valley. Delayed offside. Raiders changing behind the play as Simon brings it out from his own zone with speed now. Shoots it right into the glove of Nichols. Barely even saw that puck before Nichols grabbed it with 39 seconds off the clock.
He got a lot on that one, Matt. But again, Nichols down. I don't even know if we could call that one butterfly, but he was down and he reached up with the glove to make that one. That would have been close if he would have missed that, whether that would have hit the post or ricocheted in, but it was a good shot from distance on the left wing side.
16 shots for TJ through 2, make it 17 now, and Chris Nichols has turned them all aside. He is your PIHL shutout leader with 6 of those entering Thursday. He chases another early in period 3 with Soroka, dropping this puck to Watson. Maxwell from right point. Through a crowd, Balducci saw that one, and he saw the rebound as well off the stick of Soroka.
Officially through 2 periods. 28-16 shot advantage for the Raiders. So 25 saves for Balducci.
A lot of quality shots in those 28 too, Kevin.
Yeah.
He has had to do some acrobatic and athletic things to keep this score line even where it is at the moment. Soroka right through that IC Hockey logo at center. Pressured by Banks. It comes free to Maxwell. Maxwell's shot blocked by Joyce as it goes into the rafters. March and Scrates giving warnings to both teams here.
Verbal exchange between the players in the slot right there. Martin goes off for the Raiders. He was involved.
And just as quickly, we're back to action with Ryan Ellis, the former Bishop Canavan product, playing that puck to the corner. Sent behind the net now by Moreau. Warwick hit from behind by Banks. Hawk has it for Seneca Valley. He slips off a check. Fetzko to center, trying to get around Maxwell. Moreau has this puck deep in his own zone. Somebody's mouthpiece, or mouth guard, I should say.
That was laying on the ledge here in front of us. I actually think it was from the first game. And
you may be correct. And Michael Banks just kind of flung it into Seneca Valley territory. Officials will have to retrieve that at their earliest convenience. Sheets from an angle. Good save, Balducci. The rebound, Balducci down but not out. He is, however, without a stick. Sheets unable to get that one past Banks, the defenseman, who controlled his gap well.
Balducci made a good sprint to the corner to retrieve it.
Easily TJ's best player tonight with 14:10 to go in the third. Villela off the skate of Salopek. And it comes all the way back into Raider territory for icing.
Well, I think it would help to defend Seneca right there. They had 3 players back, Jaguars did, including the first forward back, And they still allow them to cut those forehand to the middle of the ice, Matt. You got to funnel. You got to keep the width of that and the depth, really, and funnel them down the boards and take away that cutback. Offs.
And officials noticed immediately as Molnar now gets the memo. Raiders through center. Moreau playing it out in front, paddled aside by Balducci. Carter Merrill 1 against 2. Merrill unable to get around the last stick there. That was Bailey. And Nichols, meanwhile, at the far post, makes another save.
Again, down when that shot was taken with a quick glove to reach up high. I'm going to suggest maybe they try, if he's down early, to try the stick side, because that glove is cat quick.
Oh, we said Thomas Jefferson was at least mathematically in position to possibly solidify home ice advantage in round 1 tonight. They're not getting the help they needed, however, as Pine Richland leads Mount Lebanon 5-2 in the only other 3A game on tonight's schedule. We'll see the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils next Thursday night on TenbandTV, or more accurately, Matt Vandriak will see the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils in the nightcap as he fills in. We'll start with Peters Township at South Fayette. We'll end with Lebo USC. The rivalry game is back next Thursday night starting at 7:10 on TenbandTV. South Fayette and Upper St. Clair both trying to nail down playoff spots at the moment. Upper St. Clair and Franklin Regional going head-to-head for that last spot, or one of the last spots anyway, in 3A. Martin and Bailey out here for Tyler Masiska in a 3-0 game that favors his Seneca Valley Raiders. Sent behind the Jaguars' cage, Balducci for Simon. Fetzko back to play it off the glass.
Ice.
It will be icing against Thomas Jefferson.
Jaguars need a little bit of life, spark, something. It's looking pretty, I don't know if lethargic's the right word, but they don't have that jump right now.
You hesitate rather to say demoralized, but discouraged maybe would be the better word. And certainly that second period goal by Soroka, the only goal for either team in the period, was a bit deflating from a TJ perspective. But still a lot of time left. 12:20 to go in period 3 as one of the Jaguars just rung that off the side of the post behind Chris Nichols. Artman off a stick and off to our extreme right. Puck dribbling around in the spectator area.
Flip it. On that rush, Nichols was down. He choked down on that stick. He was ready for the poke check.
Gwarek taking the face-off against Lorenzi, who wins it for TJ. It deflects up to Burns, who was onside. Michael can still play this puck and goes cross ice for Artman. Artman off the shoulder of Nichols and out of action.
Well, that was good side-to-side passing by TJ, forcing him to go pipe to pipe. And that one ricocheted. I think that was, I heard a click of the helmet. That might have went off the melon right there too.
Lorenzi wins it to Michael. Artman playing it in front of his own bench. 4-0 and Michael. To the vacant left wing it goes. Gilbert deep into TJ territory. Carter Artman for Jake Simon now. And the Shaha Panther product plays it to center, where Maxwell is waiting for Seneca Valley. Burns out there for TJ, trying to play it to center. Burns with goals in 4 of his last 5 and points in 6 of 7 overall.
3 consecutive attempts, Matt, where TJ couldn't get out. Finally, they make a good pass there. It's just a suffocating forecheck.
Took the word right out of my mouth as Nichols hangs on once again. Once again, Seneca Valley, the #1 defensive team across the 4 classifications in the PIHL entering Thursday.
A couple of those were good passes. They went D to D around the net. They hit the wing, a 1 touch, but it was just that final pass to exit the zone that couldn't connect.
A blistering shot there taken by Ellis. And that's held again by Chris Nichols.
Constantly playing your own zone is very discouraging, Matt. It's just takes the life out of you. Players always have more hop to go on offense with the threat of scoring a goal. Look at Nichols play it behind the net quickly.
And that deflects off a couple of skates and in toward the Seneca Valley senior. Raiders nip that in the bud, and they send it through center to the corner. Carter Hain, correction, Soroka going after it for the Raiders out in front. Point blank save, Balducci.
What a great push out. Good technique on the telescope.
Owen Martin was looking for the knockout punch, but couldn't quite land it as we near 10 minutes remaining in regulation.
I mean, that went right to him in front. It was very tight, and he didn't freeze, right? He was able to push out, eliminate the angle. It was really well done.
A shame for John Zeiler, I'm sure, that he's already a senior because he's come in and just taken over that position so seamlessly for the Jaguars.
Here's a chance.
Galicia from an angle. That deflected wide. Salopek was trying to get in position to get a greasy goal there. Martin defensively for Seneca. Up to center for Soroka. Soroka, high off the glass. Ellis collects it on the back end for TJ. Turn over to Myers. One of the Raiders right out in front. That was Carson Lindbergh. They couldn't get him the puck. Fetzko shouldered by CJ Gawarek. Nichols outletting to Myers. Across for Lindbergh. Offside Seneca Valley.
It's like the boa constrictor just continuing to squeeze as each minute passes. And I was going to jump in and say they had one forechecker, and they still forced a hit, forced a bad pass around. The second forechecker picked it up, and then they had a chance in front. It's
Gawarek chips it inside the TJ zone. Lorenzi up for Burns. Burns pressured by Garvin. Lorenzi now to the corner for the Jaguars. Gula from left point. It deflects off a couple of sticks in front of Nichols. Never made it on goal. Midway through this third period, the draw pass intended for Gawarek instead finds Lindbergh. Lindbergh quickly dispossessed by Burns. Up it comes to Michael now for TJ. To a wide open Gula. Gula shooting off the man right in front. That was Garvin who got a piece. And the follow-up by Michael will miss.
Yeah, Lorenzi cutting from the right wing boards. He needed to put his stick down and haul or try to get Nichols telescoping out, put it behind him for the redirect.
Gula hustling to catch up to that one. Raiders have it deep in the Thomas Jefferson zone. Official trying to remove himself from the proceedings as Myers turned it over to one of the Jaguars. That was Jack Gula. Both teams making changes. Moreau with speed up to Reif. Reif dropping for Gilbert. Gilbert forcing the save by Balducci, and Balducci juggles the rebound.
Another good chance in transition. I used this expression once in a different sport, but this is like a ruthlessly efficient team right here.
They are an impressive bunch to watch, and they will once again be a tough out in the Penguins Cup playoffs. Seneca Valley with a commanding lead over Thomas Jefferson as time winds down in period 3. Watson floats that one on goal, and Balducci has to squeeze that one.
Came with the changeup. Thought he was coming off with a little speed off that right wing side as the left wing shot crossed the top of the circles between the forwards and D, and thought he was going to really fire it, and he got the changeup kind of fluttered off his stick.
Balducci only needed to make 15 saves to earn that victory down the road at Mount Lebanon last Monday. He's made twice that many, and then some tonight with still 7:19 to play.
You don't see that too often, Matt. That puck rode that netting all the way around the top of the glass and then got stuck up there. It was like a bobsled turn. See, I'm watching too much Olympics. It was actually luge last night.
Have the Jamaicans gone yet? Do we know?
Bob is next week, bobsled. It's luge this week, but who knows? Maybe they're in.
Luge can be just as fun to watch, too, though. The one-man and the two-man, or one-person, two-person events. It's an intriguing sport.
I get the one. The two seems kind of silly. Let me lay on top of you and see how this goes.
Right. A little bit of everything at the Winter Games. Watson watches the Jaguars bring it back inside the Seneca Valley line. Maxwell goes to play it defensively for the Raiders. Seneca Valley breaking out to center. Across the line, lead pass to Soroka, who is on hat trick watch. Draw pass to Hawk. Hawk shooting. That's blocked by Fetzko, and it goes into the protective netting.
The 4 black jerseys were attacking the 2 defenders, and they had space on the next TJ player coming back. So it's just a transition with speed. Really puts the pressure on the defensive pair for TJ.
Villela back to center. Martin retreating before being poke checked by Porter and Lorenzi. Villela through a sea of jerseys. Porter getting tied up with one of the Raiders along the boards. Balducci knocks that puck aside. Seneca Valley still in control. Taken over now by Banks. Banks couldn't get it past Martin. Porter off his own bench and back to center for Carter Hain of Seneca Valley. Paired out here with Vinny Villela as we approach the final 5 minutes of regulation. Villela off Balducci's blade. To the corner it comes for Banks. Burns trying to outlet for Porter. The pass too strong. Garvin collecting it behind his goaltender. Turn over to Banks. Banks shooting off a body and off another one right in front. That almost deflected in behind Chris Nichols.
Would have been an own goal. Might be the only way to get one past him.
Warwick unable to advance that puck for Seneca Valley. Merrill from the point. Along the boards for Owen Michael. Michael taken off that puck by Sheets. Garvin behind the net. Hit by Michael.
Look out.
Stabbing at that puck was Gula at center, and it just barely stayed in play. Gawarek deep into the offensive zone for Seneca Valley. Carter Merrill looking for an outlet. He has Galicia at center. Galicia's shot blocked. Pritchard keeps it inside the zone temporarily. Raiders force it back inside the TJ line. Lindbergh cutting down the middle. That pass right through his skates. Tyler Maxwell will dump it. Balducci will float it right back through the neutral zone. Jaguars complete their line change. Raiders come to center. Leighton Moreau with a dump in this time. Gilbert had a couple players calling for the puck, trying to find one of them now. Pivoting in the corner. Gilbert takes that puck all the way to center point before going to Maxwell. Maxwell hit in the corner by Casamassa. TJ clears it.
Penalty upcoming.
Someone had a stick slashed out of their hands.
I think Casamassa knocked the stick of Maxwell out of his hands, and he's gonna get 2 minutes. I refer you again to what happened in the first game of the doubleheader tonight, and the officials are not going to let anything escalate.
And this time the clock is their friend with only 2:52 to go in regulation. Seneca Valley on the penny power play for the second time tonight. They are 0 for 1. Gilbert to the corner. Reif near side. Soroka to Hain. Hain shooting wide of goal.
Oh, nice poke.
That was a good poke check by Ben Balducci. Raiders keep possession. Soroka to Reif. Reif pressured by Molnar. Up it comes now to Hain. Hain couldn't handle the pass.
And we got another one from behind the play.
Gawarek got between the ears of one of the Jaguars. We'll see whom. It's Carter Artman who will feel shame for 2 minutes and then get free.
5-on-3 now for the Raiders. It was impressive, Matt, the way the Raiders were moving, not only the puck, but the bodies in and out, all in a collective. I don't know how to describe it, but they all kind of knew where everyone was supposed to be going. They would move, replace, keep the spacing. I'm not sure why this is coming back. Oh, they got coincidentals. Okay.
Gawarek was very late to the party, but he is indeed going off for Seneca Valley, so we'll wait and see if it is a two-man advantage, but it appears not to be. It is still a conventional power play for
That's why
Seneca
the
Valley.
official's holding his arm up to wait for the other 2 minutes to be put up on the scoreboard. It will be 4, or they'll remove one. That's the other way you could do it, 4-on-3. There was 2 options.
There usually are. Lorenzi unable to corral that puck. Martin over the line. Seneca Valley still on the penny power play for another minute, thereabouts. Not a necessary penny power play per se, but one that'll take up any attacking zone time that TJ had its eyes set on, perhaps. Raiders can just tilt the ice the rest of the way here if they so desire. But that one deflects back to center.
It's good practice, though, Matt. You mentioned they had struggled earlier in the season on a power play, and it's one thing to do it against your own players, but you get to set up against an opponent and get some live action when you're up 3 late in the game.
Going to work in the corner is Myers for Seneca Valley. Raiders protecting that puck, and that cross-ice feed was too heavy. Final minute of third period play as Maxwell tries to tie up Lorenzi. Lorenzi pressing shorthanded. Penalty coming up on Seneca Valley, and the penny power play will end a bit prematurely.
Excellent work by Lorenzi right there on the penalty kill, forcing the issue at the offensive blue line. He got a step on Maxwell, and he reached out with the stick. He's going to get the hooking call. So really well done by the captain, Cam Lorenzi.
Has one of the 5 shorties for Thomas Jefferson this year. That's the second most of any team in Class 3A. So they're not shy about pressing shorthanded, but just haven't really done it up until that point. Reif just smacks that into Thomas Jefferson ice. Jaguars with a late penny power play here as Galizia has knocked off the puck. Nichols makes that save. The shot by Michael handcuffed him. Michael has the rebound, resetting for Ellis. Ellis right into the glove hand of Chris Nichols. .28 ticks to talk. Gilbert against Michael. And Reif will send it almost off Kevin Zolmanski.
That was coming right for me on that one. I could see the spin like a cartoon. I wasn't trying to catch that one.
I didn't think you said anything that offensive tonight.
They just want to see if my reflexes are in postseason form as late in the season here.
For once, it was not Kennedy Kazarowski who had to duck and cover. Let the record show. 10 seconds left. Pritchard to the corner.
I'm just glad I wasn't looking down.
You've got that right. 2 seconds, 1 second. That's it. Fort Pitt. Lucky number 7 for two-time All-Star Chris Nichols. His 7th shutout of the 2025-2026 season as the Seneca Valley Raiders take care of business against the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars by a 3-0 final score. TJ remains on an even 30 points. Seneca Valley now has an even 50 with one more game left in their season. They're home to Central Catholic next Monday. TJ visits Franklin Regional next Monday. Thank you, Kevin Zolmanski. Thank you, Michael Lyman in the Four Seasons. Thank you, Jared Todd Hunter. Thank you, Todd Kazarowski. And thank you for watching and listening. I'm Matt Popchock, and that is all she wrote from Castle Shannon. Again, Seneca Valley takes it from TJ 3-0. You've been watching the push for the 2026 Penguins Cup playoffs on TenbandTV. It's PIHL Hockey Night Live, presented by Craft House Stage and Grill.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Reif drops it to Maxwell. Maxwell with a pretty fake there. Maxwell toward goal, deflected on Balducci. He stays with it, makes the save, freezes the follow-up. For the netminder, he's done it all for John Zeiler's team this season. First-year starter. Merrill knocking down one of the Raiders. That was 8. Raiders play it off the glass at center red. Evan Hawk with a toe drag on goal. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Side for Burns. Burns knocked down by John Soroka. Soroka to Myers. Myers with a fake. Score! My Soroka feeds Luke Myers for the first Seneca Valley goal.
By TJ that allowed Seneca to get out and go down here.
And the Raiders nearly double their lead, but Balducci, a gorgeous desperation save there to keep. Carter Merrill unable to clear the zone. Raiders have it deep again, and they score! John Soroka goes upstairs to make it 2-0 Raiders. Shake well before using. And the Raiders, coming off a pretty textbook first period, play this puck up ahead to the game's first goal scorer, Luke Myers, who gets victimized this time.
Because it could become critical in a close game in the playoffs.
Gilbert off balance. That puck still available in front. The Raiders try to settle it down. Oh, what a play by Banks! A frenetic start to this first penny power play of the night for Seneca Valley. Reif toward goal. That one-timer is stopped by Balducci. Protect that puck for the Jaguars. Merrill breaks free, gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard off a stick out front. Oh, what a stop there by Nichols! And he stops the rebound on cap. Lindbergh down the left wing, dropping for Myers. Myers on goal, Balducci the save. Around the boards for Moreau. Soroka. It's in! It went off the inside of the post. It went in. Thank you, sir. May I have another? John Soroka's 10th of the season. Puck will be brought back around to Maxwell. Moreau from the left point. Shot pass, worked around to Martin. Martin fires Balducci. Delayed offside. Raiders changing behind the play as Simon brings it out from his own zone with speed now. Shoots it right into the glove of Nichols. And they send it through center to the corner. Carter Hayne. Correction. Soroka going after it for the Raiders out in front. Point blank save Balducci. As the Seneca Valley Raiders take care of business against the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars by a 3-0 final score. TJ remains on an even 30 points. Seneca Valley now has an even 50 with
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.